Hey, this is Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much as always for viewing my videos. If you're new to my videos, if you like this content, if you find it helpful, educational, informative, please like and subscribe. I sincerely appreciate that. In this video, I'm going to review 3 jazz albums, 3 must-listen-to jazz albums. Well, at least 2 of the 3 are must-listen-to jazz albums, in my opinion. Another one, which I'm going to present, one you should definitely check out as well. The third one's a jazz fusion record. But before I get to my content, I just want to say on Saturday, June 21st, me and my wife were at Disneyland. I was approached by one of my viewers. He was highly respectful, very complimentary in terms of my content, and he mentioned that helped turn him on to jazz and jazz music. And he was, like I said, it was very complimentary and, like I said, highly respectful. And I forgot his name, and I sincerely apologize for that. But it was Saturday, June 21st at Disneyland. I just want to thank that young gentleman, that young brother, for approaching me and the kind things he said to me and about my channel. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I forgot your name, though. Please forgive me for that. But I'm going to review 3 records in this video. Records, again, you should definitely check them out on YouTube. And I'm going to start with this one that was released originally released in 1961. This one is an Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds reissue of the album as part of the Atlantic 75 series. This one is a 45 RPM version of the record, so it's a 2 record set. And before I get into the brief review, I will show you the inside of the, show you the hype sticker. I'll show you the inside of the gatefold and the cover. Again, originally released in 1961. It was recorded, I think, in 1959 and early 1960, I believe. But the inside of the gatefold is very nice by Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds, a part of the Atlantic 75 series. What a nice gatefold, and the back of the cover. And some of the musicians of note on Village Blues, the personnel is John Coltrane, soprano sax, tenor sax, McCoy Tyner, piano, Steve Davis, bass, Elvin Jones, drums. On all other numbers, it says back here, the personnel is John Coltrane, tenor sax, Wynton Kelly, piano, Paul Chambers, bass, Jimmy Cobb, drums. Part of that great Miles Davis group from a couple of years before this recording. And I'll show you the label as well. This particular one, before I show you the label, comes with this Analogue Productions advertisement insert. It opens up as well. And it comes with this insert as well. So it talks about Atlantic 75 series. And this is the label of the record. Again, it's a 2 LP set because it's a 45 RPM record by John Coltrane. And this recording has that, that strict right and left recording technology where you have in the left speaker is John Coltrane. The piano was also on the left speaker. In the right speaker you have the drums and the bass with some, it's with some dimension going, slightly inside of the right speaker and left speaker. It makes me interested in buying the mono. As great as this sounds, and this sounds actually quite good. It's a very nice recording. I like this one over some of the Blue Note records because this one, the bass and the drums are not buried in the recording, in the piano I should say. The bass and piano aren't buried in the recording like some of those Blue Note records, even though this has that, like I said, that strict left and right panning recording technology with very little to no music in the center of the sound stage. It sounds quite sensational in its own. It really does, where you can hear the beauty and texture and detail of those really fantastic and very invigorating John Coltrane solos throughout this great record. And you can hear the texture and detail and nuances of the bass, drums, and piano, even on this type of recording. A really nice reproduction of this album by Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds. Some of my favorite songs of note on this album are My Shining Hour, again with a very nice John Coltrane solo. But I think the best song on this album is a tribute to Sonny Rollins. If I failed to show you the song listing, I hope it comes out on the video. But there's a song on here called Like Sonny. And it is a sensational jazz piece. It has this very invigorating jazz vibe and groove to it in terms of the, you know, the musicality and the direction of the music and the enjoyment of jazz. I highly recommend you start, if you're going to listen to this album, listen to Like Sonny first, because that is a sensational jazz piece, a sensational jazz song, in my opinion. This album sounds absolutely excellent on my system. I was listening to this on a Rega P8 turntable with a Apheta 3 cartridge. It was a highly enjoyable listen. What a nice job by Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds. This performance on this record with John Coltrane, again with his very invigorating and very moving solos. He does that on all his albums. He's one of the greatest jazz soloists of all time, in my opinion. What a sensational performance. And the accompaniment by the musicians to complement John Coltrane on this very nice recording was quite sensational. So the performance 9.5 and a sound a 9. This is a solid jazz performance if you're not familiar with this record. I didn't have this in my collection, oh, by the way. So this was a treat of a recording. I think the first 1,000 or 2,000 of this album as part of Atlantic 75 series are numbered, and mine is numbered. I don't know if it's coming out on the video. Now, I did not pre-order my album. I just bought it, you know, probably around the day of its release, and I got a numbered version. Mine is 843. If you're not familiar with this record, check it out on YouTube because it's a treat to listen to. John Coltrane Jazz, I believe, was originally released in 1961, reissued in 2025 by Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds, a 45 RPM record. I know some of you out there are not fans of 45 RPM records. This one, I believe, was $60, and it was worth the price of admission, no doubt about it. Great job by Analogue Productions Acoustic Sound. Performance a 9.5, sound a 9. The sound is just great, you know, even with that strict left and right recording technology that, you know, it still sounds great. When you're into the performance, you kind of forget about that type of, you know, strict left and right recording technologies, that left and right panning. That sounds sensational. Check it out on YouTube if you're not familiar with that album. Now, the next album I'm going to review on this channel, I bought at a thrift store as of the posting date of this video, probably like 4 days ago. And this is from a highly underrated jazz singer and piano player. He does both, a double threat. Mose Allison, Your Mind is on Vacation is the name of the album. And Mose Allison, again, is a highly underrated jazz singer and jazz piano player. This was a highly enjoyable listen listening to the voice of Mose Allison. I have several Mose Allison albums in my collection. He is one of my favorite singers. I discovered him in my teens, probably later teens, hearing that beautiful voice, probably on my father's car radio, and after that on a jazz station that I was listening to in the greater Los Angeles area. This is the original insert, sleeve that came with the album. I love these sleeves because it turns me on to some albums that I didn't even know existed. For example, there's a Billy Cobham album on here, and several others. So I like these old school sleeves. even though I replaced them after I cleaned the record. I'll show you the record label. This was issued in 1976 on Atlantic Records. And it was recorded excellently, in my opinion, in terms of the soundstage being expansive, being detailed, filling the entire soundstage. I listened to this right after the John Coltrane album. And again, that John Coltrane album had that, you know, just saw music come out of left and right speaker. With this, just colored the soundstage with great music, great instrument, and the beautiful voice of Mose Allison. If you're not familiar with Mose Allison and his very unique, sensational voice, you are in for a treat on this one. When you listen to this album, again, it was released in 1976, and there's some musicians of note before I get to my review on this album. You have David Sanborn, alto sax, Joe Farrell, tenor sax, and, you know, several other musicians of note on this record. But this, I'll show you the song listing before I get in my review as well. There's a song on here, and you should, if you're not familiar with this album, check this song out first. It's called Perfect Moment. Check out Perfect Moment by Mose Allison. And that would give you like a feel or vibe or groove, or, you know, his way of the way his voice sounds on this record in his various recordings. He has a very unique, very soulful, very bluesy type of jazz voice. Matter of fact, there's a song on here. It's like a blues influence song. It's called What Do You Do After You Ruin Your Life? What a title for that, for a song. What do you do after you ruin your life? So check out Perfect Moment. What do you do after you ruin your life next? And also the title track, Your Mind Is on Vacation. Your Mind Is on Vacation. Check that out too. That'll give you, you know, a feel for what this album, this great album, is all about. I enjoy this just as much, as not more, than the Coltrane album, to be quite frank with you. This is a highly enjoyable listen on my system. Like I said, it was recorded very well in terms of the expansiveness of the soundstage and the way they took advantage of the soundstage via the mixing process. I believe Mose Allison's voice was in the center of the soundstage. He's a very underrated piano player, and his brother can hold a note when he wants to. He really can. But again, check the songs of note on here. Is called Perfect Moment. Check that out first. The second one, What Do You Do After You Ruin Your Life? Here's another one, the title track, Your Mind Is on Vacation. Another one is If You Only Knew. Check those out and listen to the whole album. And this is very worth checking out as far as I'm concerned. In terms of the sound, I'm going to give the sound a 9. It was like a little bit on the high treble side. It probably could have represented the lower register a little bit better, you know, the bass frequencies. Overall, it was a very nice recording, mixed very well. It sounded great on my sound stages, my Rega P8 turntable with Apheta 3 cartridge. The performance, however, Mose Allison, I'm going to give a 9 as well. Album, highly underrated album, one you definitely check out. Issued on Atlantic Records in 1976, Mose Allison, Your Mind Is on Vacation. Highly recommend this album. Now, the next one is soft recommendation. Now, I have this on LP. I just purchased this at a thrift store the same day I purchased that Mose Allison album as a posting date of this video a few days ago. I have this on LP too. I just wanted the convenience of CD. This is called Pat Metheny First Circle. And again, I have the album as well. And I thought I'd review this one. So what applies to this CD applies to the album, because I have both of them. This album features Lyle Mays, Pat Metheny, Steve Rodby, and let me get my glasses, see if I can find my glasses for this one. Pedro Anar, I believe that's his name. Paul Vertigo, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the names. I'll show it, but I don't think it's going to come out on the video. Now this CD, when I listen to it, Here's my opinion of the performance, and I'm getting more deep into it in a second. This CD is not as bad as some of the music press, some of the reviews when it was initially released. This got mixed reviews. I don't think it is as bad as the music press made it out to be, but it's not as good as some of his greater works like Off Ramp, Travels, and some of his greater works. It's not on that level. It's somewhere in between. When I listen to this CD, the first song is called Forward March. That shouldn't have been on the CD. Listen to the song Forward March and you know what I mean. That didn't make any sense. I didn't get that song being on this CD at all. And also the second song is called Yolanda, You're Lean. You Lean, I should say. Yolanda, You Lean. That song almost sounds like a pop instrumental. That I didn't care for too much either. But when you get to the song called The First Circle, then things start to get moving and groovy on this jazz fusion album, in my opinion. That's where, you know, Pat Metheny and group start to pick it up on this CD. So you want to start with First Circle. And the song, and also, If I Could, is a beautiful, beautiful composition on this CD as well. Check that out. Just simply sensationally beautiful. And the solos by Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays on the song Tell It All are quite sensational on that song. And then there's another song in here with a beautiful vocal performance. I think it's called Mose Allison. I'm probably pronouncing that improperly. And in parentheses it says Beyond. That's a beautiful vocal performance on the CD. All in all, this was a very nice listen. Again, not on the level of Pat Metheny's greatest works. You know, I consider, in terms of a jazz fusion album, Travels being on the top of the list, Off Ramp being on the top of the list. This one is worth a listen. It's a mixed bag in terms of the songs, but there's enough on here to consider. I would give the performance an 8.5 and the sound probably about 8.5 as well. The sound is in between the speakers. It doesn't go outside of the speakers very much. It could have been slightly more expansive and slightly more representative of the bass frequencies, but overall this is a fine recording, a fine performance by the Pat Metheny group, I should say. First Circle by the Pat Metheny group. Check it out on YouTube. And oh, by the way, I don't play music on my channel because of copyright infringement issues. I don't want my channel to be taken down. This music belongs to somebody else, and that my video can be taken down because of that. So I'm very cautious and careful about that. And also consider donating my channel via the PayPal donation link in the description below. That allows me to go out and buy albums like this Coltrane album. Please keep that in consideration, or do digital downloads and stuff like that. Thank you very much for viewing my video. Please like and subscribe. God bless, strong love, and keep the peace worldwide.